it was from the 1980s, and that today is now working for us. We currently generate about between 7 to 9 million US dollars per month from the domain name, and that has 7 to 9 million per month.
7 to
US.
9, 7-9, 7 to 9.
To 9 million.
Promedio.
and 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 that has allowed us, yes, and that has allowed us to pivot and to put in place the GST relief, the GST reform. And so it's something that we do not take for granted. We are looking at ways in which we can establish certain funds to be able to continue to help our people, to assist us in withstanding the issues that may arise from time to time. But it also allows us the opportunity to focus on our people, to be able to deliver the things that our people have wanted for quite some time. And so we are committed to being able to do that. Thank you. And that budget would have, once we met certain parameters, there was no issue from the UK government. One of the things that we were able to do as well was to reform a goods and services tax that had been implemented in 2022 to be able to specifically address the concerns with respect to ensuring that we had a broad-based tax and that we were able to meet our financial obligations when they arose, that we're able to have sufficient funds to be able to address situations such as natural disasters, etc. So thankfully, we are out of that phase. Of course, at the end of the day, once we continue to meet certain parameters, or we're in a position where we can ensure that we can take care of ourselves, the UK has little to say. So when I say that, I mean that in August, on the 1st of August, this administration would have implemented a goods and services tax reform that would have adjusted the GST that was implemented in 2022. And the reason for that was to stimulate economic activity, to ensure that we address the cost of living issues that have resulted that were resulted from the implementation of the GST structure in the way in which it was implemented. And so that did not have any issues with the UK government in terms of coming to the House and being passed into law. It was signed by the governor.
And let me just say, in terms of any advice I have for Anguilla, I would just say that I think Anguilla's doing a great job. They're performing extremely well. I've been to Anguilla. I was very impressed with their tourism product. They have, as everybody would know, .ai, which is just growing in popularity every day. And I know that it's become somewhat of a cash cow for Anguilla. So I know Anguilla's doing well. And of course, I want to congratulate Premier Richardson Hodge on the reforms to the GST, which I know the GST did create revenue for the government, but it did create some hardship for the people. So to be able to have a reform that the UK government is satisfied with and the people are satisfied with, I think is a great accomplishment for Anguilla. And we were in our Caribbean caucus earlier, and I believe that because of the resilience that the BVI and Anguilla have shown, you know, we deserve, in my view, a greater level of flexibility in terms of the arrangements we have with the United Kingdom. And I think it's important for us to talk with each other, Anguilla, BVI, and other overseas territories, because some territories get certain kind of benefits and privileges that others don't. You may have provisions that Cayman may have, you know, that the BVI or Anguilla wouldn't have. Same thing for Bermuda. Turks and Caicos, I know, have been negotiating as it pertains to a constitution. So my advice to Anguilla would be the same advice for all of us, that we speak to each other, that we share best practice, that we don't allow ourselves to be divided, that we remain united, and that we see what we can learn from each other. Because, you know, when we were speaking earlier, there were actually great opportunities for us to learn and grow from each other, even regardless of having to go to the UK for anything. Of course, we have requests of the UK, but, you know, when we really examine it, sometimes we can solve these challenges just by speaking to each other and assisting each other. And I'm very proud to be a sister territory to Anguilla.
Thank you. It's in the process of being extended, yes, right.
Yes, and I see that you're welcoming flights now from New Jersey, is it?
Yes. Bermuda Air, where's Bermuda? Bermuda Air is going to be flying into Anguilla from that area beginning in December, and they will be providing that route for a period of 6 months during the peak season. And that allows us as well to be able to have direct flights in persons. A lot of our tourists are located in that area, and so it allows for ease of access to fly directly into Anguilla.
So we ourselves are looking to extend our airport runway, but we're inspired about what's happening in Anguilla. So we'd say keep up the good work.
Thank you so much.
So
I just want to say thanks to the organizers for inviting me, and thanks for the opportunity to make a small intervention, and to congratulate the team for this outstanding event. I just wanted to piggyback on what Honorable Smith was saying, and going back to when she herself started the London office, she didn't mention this, but at the time the government had arranged for a rotational opportunity for senior civil servants to do 4 to 6 months in the London office, which worked well for a time. I don't know what has happened to it. We probably need to revive it. I know Honorable Luz Hodge did do that at the time. I think it's something worth revisiting, Premier. Yeah. The second thing is that the late Premier R.T. O'Neill believed that one of the ways that we could build our country was to encourage travel. Quite the contrary to what you hear nowadays. people complaining and criticizing the government for traveling, but he believed that encouraging the younger members of our community to travel had such a great benefit to it, and he promoted it. And to also add, he was a proponent of attending cocktail receptions. Just last night I was having a conversation with one of the young ladies from the Ministry of Finance and telling her that the education you get from cocktail receptions are opportunities to do that. And to continue, certainly when I was a minister, I traveled, I carried somebody else along with me for whatever the conference was, whatever the area was, for the purposes of the exposure to help us build the great little nation that I think we are going to build. And then two quick little points. One question that you had asked about proud moments you asked about Premier was when I was a minister, for instance, the British Virgin Islands was co-chair of GLISPA, the Global Islands Partnership. And we were the only non-independent country that was a co-chair. It was Palau in the Pacific, Seychelles in the Indian Ocean, and Grenada in the Caribbean. And we were a co-chair, one of the 4 co-chairs, and we were not just a co-chair in there, we were a proud co-chair and really punching about our weight, as the Premier would say. And we did, a tremendous amount of work as a small island state within the auspices of the SIDS, the Small Island Development States. And then in 2018, for territory meeting for GMC, we were in a meeting in London preparing for the GMC later that year. And it was the first year that the United Kingdom was actually inviting the overseas territory to be a part of the official delegation to go to COP, which was being held in Poland that year. We were a part of the official delegation. And I remember in a meeting when we were discussing who would represent the overseas countries to that particular meeting, the delegate from St. Helena got up and spoke and said that she was recommending the British Virgin Islands to be our representative. And these are her words. She said that she noticed that whenever the British Virgin Islands speak, others listen, and she was recommending that we should go. And the delegate from Gibraltar jumped up quickly and said they seconded, because in the environmental space we had carved out a niche for ourselves and had become one of the voices on the international scene with respect to the issues of the environment and climate change. So this forum, the organizers, both premiers, I think we're onto something, and we just need to continue to value ourselves. I often believe that good things come in small packages, and that's what we need to continue to do. Thanks.